How's it going, guys? Josh here with Trax RC, and in this video we are going to be rating my subscribers' RCs once again. We got a ton of entries to get through today in this episode, and if you want me to rate your RC car in one of these future episodes, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and then email to this email on the screen right here at least one picture of your RC, multiple is better, and then a list of upgrades and future mods that you want to do to your RC, and that's it. So now let's take a look at the first RC. Looks like it's a slash two-wheel drive. Although this is my fully upgraded slash two-wheel drive, you can't really call it an RC because there are missing parts that I use on other RCs at the moment. I use it only for hardcore bashing. List of upgrades: RPM arms front and rear, RPM side guards, rear shock tower, transmission case, body mounts, Traxxas LCG chassis, aluminum caster blocks, hub carriers, and list of parts that are missing in the pictures, and we got a lot of pictures too, so that's pretty cool. GTA shocks, I think you might mean GTS. Yeah, I've never heard of GTA. Traxxas steel drive shafts, Hoppywing Max 10, ESC and motor. The motor does not overheat that fast and is also faster and more reliable than the Traxxas system. And it also is missing Proline trenchers. Future upgrades: Proline bug body, Traxxas X01 drive shafts, and a drag slash transmission. As you can see, I already snapped the chassis in half, and the second chassis already has a crack because I missed the ramp and run into a rocket full speed. Kind of fixed it with the metal plate screwed into the bottom of the chassis. Very professional. Sorry if I've done some grammar and spelling mistakes. I come from Germany. I mean, your translation's pretty good. Wouldn't even have guessed that you're from Germany. All right, so let's take a look at it. Oh, so it's a full-on roller. That's pretty cool. I do like the whole blue theme that you have going with like the aluminum parts, and then you kept the blue chassis. But other than that, I mean, this thing definitely looks used, which it gives it a lot of character for sure. For everybody watching this, please subscribe to Trax RC and leave a like. He's doing really good and a great job filming and editing. Let's get him to 5,000 subs. Thank you. That's the goal. So yeah, the RPM arms, capture box, all great upgrades that you have on this. Honestly, if you weren't going to use this, you could sell it as a roller and get some good money off it. Looks like you got the RPM Nerf bars too. I don't know if you mentioned that. But yeah, it looks like a solid roller for sure. Probably going to need a new rear body mount before you put any parts on it. But oh yeah, there's the crack in the chassis. I've never cracked a slash chassis before. Oh, I take that back. I've cracked the front nose piece of one of the higher center of gravity slash chassis, and then we broke a Stampede two-wheel drive chassis in half. But other than that, we haven't had any chassis issues. Oh, that is very professional. Oh, that's where you broke the first one. That's a weird spot to break it. Seems like there's a lot of bracing going on right there, and it's a pretty thick piece right there, so you definitely use it based on the amount of scratches and stuff for sure. I love the body too. I like how you only got one rear fender on this side. That monster logo looks cool there too. Yeah, I really like the body on it. Even though it's stock, it's just the way that you put the stickers on and everything looks really good. All right, this is a video. Let me download it so we can watch it. All right. Whoa. Dang, look at that. Oh my God. How high is that? That's gotta be 30, 40 feet, somewhere around that range. Wow. Again, let's just take a moment to appreciate that ramp for a second. Piece of plywood, it looks like. When you hit it, it just flies up. That, oh my God, that's crazy. So that was that RC. Now, it's a pretty solid roller. It looks like a blast to drive if it was put all together. It looks like you got some big plans for it to get it up and running again. So you know what? I'm gonna give this one an 8. I really like that you use it and you have some purposeful upgrades on it. So, all right, next we have Carlos. He submitted, I think, 3 RCs. Here are 2 of my short course trucks. The one on the left is a associated SC5M. Never heard of it before. And the one on the right is a fully built slash. If you can tell, I like the heatwave body. I had to cut it pretty good to get it to fit on the associated. The SC5M is built for carpet. It has a 10.5T Sky RC motor with a Hobbywing ESC. I put a Savox servo in it. I tried to put the electronics weight towards the front and get the body down low. My future mods will be removing the bearing shields until I get ceramic bearings, titanium shock shafts, titanium links, a slipper eliminator, aluminum steering components, and try to find a way to mount a front sway bar. The slash is built for my homemade dirt track. All right, well, before we get to the slash, let's just rate the SC5M first. So that was the one on the left. Very cool. I love the heatwave bodies. I would really like to try one out. They look so good. And I just like the Heatwave brand too. They got some pretty cool products. I mean, it looks really good like this. So here's a second picture. Very nice. That body looks pretty new. It doesn't look beat up too bad. And then, yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of this car before. I don't really know much about racing RCs, but it looks like he got this one done up pretty well with upgrades. So it looks amazing. I'm just gonna go based off the looks. I'm gonna give it a 9. So now let's take a look at the Slash. This is the one on the right. The Slash is built for my homemade dirt track. The only thing stock on it is the trans case and shock bodies. It has the Proline suspension kit, a Castle Sidewinder 4 system with the 1410 3800 kV motor, a cheap but fast coilless servo, Traxxas heavy duty drive shafts, 4x4 bell crank assembly. That's a really underrated upgrade because the stock bell cranks on a Slash, they're just chintzy, to be honest. And before we did that on our green Slash that we sold about a year ago, I think, we put the Proline bell cranks on our red Slash that we still have, but Proline actually discontinued that product, so now the best thing to get these days is the 4x4 bell cranks because they bolt right in. And I actually believe that they come on the VXL models for the two-wheel drives, but on the brush models it's just the standard white plastic bell cranks, which are trash. And then you also got the STRC steering brace, STRC hinge pin kit, and an RPM front bumper. The trans has a drag slash input shaft slash gear assembly, Robinson Racing idler gear, Hot Racing Super Duty slipper, and a Hot Racing diff with 1 million oil. That's all I care to type for now. No list of future mods for the Slash, possibly a light bar at some point. All right, so the Slash, I don't know, I might like it a little bit better than the Associated. I like how it has a little bit of meatier of a tire. It kind of reminds me of an Ultra 4 truck a little bit more. And I like how it sits a little bit higher too. Yeah, that is really one body I would like to get. Not sure what tires those are. They look really aggressive and pretty big too. Looks good for sure. I like the stance on it. And then let's look at the underneath. Looks like you got a blue and pink theme going. Kind of a crazy color combo, but hey, it works. Yeah, I mean, just looking at it for a second, I mean, you have very purposeful upgrades on it. The aluminum shock caps, the springs, the shock guards from RPM, LCG chassis, the electronics are swapped out. Very well built rig, and I'm sure it holds up great for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and rate that Slash a 7. So our next one is also from Carlos. He had to do it in a separate email. It doesn't look like he gave us a list of upgrades, but it is a Team Associated RC10 B6.2. Again, I don't know about any Associated RCs. I really am unfamiliar with them, but this one, it looks amazing. I love the paint job that you have on it with like the paint splatters. It looks really good for sure. So just based off that, I'm gonna give this one an 8. And then our next one is actually from Brandon. He submitted all of his RCs for me to rate, and you guys have actually seen his RCs on the channel before. He owns the Granite and the SCX24, and then a few more that you don't know about. So the Stampede and HPI drift car I got for free. The Stampede isn't running, it's bone stock and needs a new ESC, radio, and receiver, but other than that, it is in near perfect condition. So let's just look at the Stampede first. I think they were in this set of pictures. Yeah, here's the Stampede. So it's a vintage Stampede for sure. Those are some crazy rims. I mean, the body, for being so old, it looks like it's in great condition too. I'm not sure if it's like you're able to sell it for a good amount of money because it's in good condition. I mean, it just looks like there's scratches on it. It doesn't look like cracked in any way. And I'm not seeing any cracks on it. So comment down below if you guys think you can sell it, because I think he was planning on using this for parts. So yeah, but let's take a look underneath the body. It's got the XL10. If you're not familiar with that ESC, it's like Traxxas's old ESC. He actually said this one needed to be replaced because it doesn't work, but basically it's an XL5, but it can't run LiPo, so that's the differences between the XL10 and the XL5. And then it's got a Titan motor, some jerry-rig cooling fan it looks like, and then a 27 megahertz receiver, and it did not come with a radio. I remember him telling me that. It looks like the only upgrade it has actually is a wheelie bar, so looks pretty cool. And it might have different tires. I don't remember those tires ever coming on a Stampede, so looks pretty cool, that's for sure. Let's take a look at this picture. It might also have black springs as an upgrade. I'm not sure if a Stampede ever came with black springs from the factory, unless it was like one of the Monster Jam special ones. So yeah, I mean, this is a great base for a build that you got for free. And because it only needs a radio system and an ESC, I'm gonna give this one a 7, purely based on it has a lot of potential and looks like it's in great condition, just from the pictures at least. So that's the Stampede. Now let's go back to the original email and look at the next RC, which is the HPI HPI drift car. I'm thinking about selling it because I don't have a great place to drive it, and I could use that money towards a new two-wheel drive Traxxas RC and use the Stampede I got for extra parts. Now that is smart. So let's take a look at that one. I believe it was this Mustang. I absolutely love this body. It's a GT350. It's got a great paint scheme. If you weren't gonna sell it, I mean, I would use that body and like paint the outside of it to make the unicorn or something. That would be awesome. Yeah, I really love that body. And then the inside of it, I think he said it only needed an ESC, but it's discontinued. It's like an HPI SC15, I believe. So if you guys know what RC this is, because neither of us have any clue, definitely drop a comment below, because it looks like it's in great condition and it only needs an ESC. So what do you guys think it's worth? But other than the ESC being toast, it looks like it's in fantastic shape. I mean, it looks very clean for being so old. It looks old because it has a long antenna, and usually when RCs have a long antenna, it means that they're 27 megahertz. So we got pictures of the Stampede and the Mustang together. Very nice. Alright, so let's move on to the next one that he submitted, which is the Helion Invictus. It has RPM front arms and an upgraded front bumper. This was my first RC car, and it has electrical issues, so I no longer use it. Alright, let's take a look at this one. It's been a while since I've seen it. Oh yeah. This thing is clapped. Yeah, I remember we got to make a video with this one before, and the electrical issues on it was really annoying. It would shut off all the time, and it does not steer. Like, I can deal with an RC shutting off, but the steering radius on the Invictus, it's trash. It's wider than a full-size semi. It's not good at all. It only steers like 20 degrees. And then the inside of it, I don't know if he replaced any of these electronics, I'm not sure, but I know that this truck is discontinued, so it's not really worth putting money into, and that's why he got the Granite. One thing I didn't remember is that the battery tray is very weird. It takes a 8-cell nickel metal hydride pack, but it mounts on the side. You can see the little extra space for it right there for the top cells. It's really weird, and I don't know what Helion was thinking, but looks like they didn't really put too much thought into the looks of this RC. It's kind of ugly, but that bumper does a lot of protection, that's for sure. Now, from my experience with this RC, it was actually really bad, so I'm gonna give this RC a 4, and I think Brandon would agree with this because he doesn't use this RC anymore. So let's move on to the next one. It was the Armored Granite. So the Granite is bone stock as well. In the future, it'd be nice to get an indestructible body for it once the body is unusable. All right, so let's take a look at the Granite. All right, so here's the Granite. Bone stock. I really love the look of this RC. It really grew on me. It looks fantastic. And for being bone stock, this is probably one of the best RCs that I've ever driven. And you guys know how I love my Stampede 4x4. But being that my Stampede 4x4 is beat and this one is newer, it just drives so much better and it's a lot of fun. So with that, even though it's stock, I'm gonna give this one an 8, just because we've gotten so much content out of it. It's insane. And then I think our last RC is the Axial SCX24 C10. It is also bone stock, but he hopes to get brass weights and aftermarket tires installed in the future. Thanks for letting me help out with the channel, and you could use my RCs anytime for videos. Awesome. I really love using your RCs for videos too. It's just more content for me to make. So let's take a look at the SCX24. Very cool. I remember making that video right there. That's where he got all these pictures from. So yeah. I mean, the upgrades that you have planned for it, I think it's going to be a really capable mini crawler for what you want to do with the brass weights and the tires. I don't really know what tires you can get. I believe Proline just came out with high racks for this tire size for SCX24s, so maybe that's something you could look into. But other than that, I mean, this thing's really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 8 as well. It just looks amazing. It's really scaled to see it up close. The amount of detail in the body for it being so small, it looks really good. So yeah, that one's getting an 8. I believe that was it. Yep, that's it. So that's all the RCs that I rated in today's episode. Again, if you guys want your RCs rated in a future video, email me at this email on the screen right here. At least one picture of your RC and a list of upgrades and future modifications that you want to do to it. And guys, make sure you check out my other channel. It'll be linked down below in the description. I've been posting a lot more on it recently. So if you like off-roading, snowmobiling, side-by-sides, make sure you check out my other channel, especially if you like snowmobiling. I'm going to be making a ton of snowmobile content this winter. So guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, like it, share it with others so I can grow my channel. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video.